Hey, how y'all doing out there? Back at you again with another video. Today I'd like to just do a comparison between the LG V30 and the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. Now the LG V30 came out in 2017 and the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus came out in 2018. Both are flagship devices. Now, some people may be in the market for getting a new smartphone and you don't want to pay these ridiculous prices, $1,400, $2,000, $1,500, $1,600. You just want a device that's going to give you a lot of bang for your buck, great quality, great cameras, great battery life, great displays. You know, you just want something that's going to give you what you need for the average consumer. Now, everybody can't run out and be buying $8,000, $9,000, $1,200, $1,500 devices. And my thing is, you don't have to do that. You know, there are older flagship devices that you can get for very low prices and prices that you can definitely live with. And you're going to get a lot of phone for that money. All right. So we're looking at two flagship devices. Of course, they're older flagship devices, but they're both great in their own way. Now, the things that I like or dislike about the two things, you may disagree, but we all have our personal preferences. Both of these devices are great devices. I'll say that right off the rip. You can't go wrong with either device. Some people prefer LG devices. Some people prefer Samsung devices. Me, I like them both, but if I had to choose between the two, I prefer Samsung devices. But I'm going to make it very clear. I will not, and I mean I will not be biased in this comparison. I'm just going to put the information out there. I'll tell you what I like, over the other one, or which one I think is better. And it's just going to be my personal opinion. Okay. You may agree, you may disagree, but that's fine. But, I'm just going to break it down for you. And at the end of the video, you decide which one you want to go with. But like I said, and I'm going to say it again, they're both great devices. You can't go wrong with either device. All right, let's get into the comparison. First thing, the LG V30, the build quality. Now, this phone has Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and the rear. And I'm going to tell you right now, the build quality on this device is excellent. Very, very good. And on top of that, the phone is not heavy. It's kind of a light type of weight to the phone. Now, some people prefer phones that are a little heavier because they feel like they're more expensive. And some people like phones that are a little more light. I kind of go in between. Sometimes I like a heavier phone. But I'll tell you the time, I'll tell you the moment where I really prefer a lighter phone is when I'm on the phone. Now, I'm the kind of person, I don't like to use speakerphone. I know a lot of people do that. I hate speakerphone. I really hate it. But I like to put the phone up to my ear. And if the phone is really heavy, I'm going to start getting arm fatigue. So if I'm talking on the phone for a long period of time, which I don't often, I prefer a lighter device. So this phone not only has great build quality, but is light. It's not light to feel like a toy, not to me, but it's definitely going to be lighter than the S9 Plus. So the build quality on this phone is excellent. Gorilla Glass 5. It has this nice silver look to it, that gray silver look. I mean, I love the way this looks. And also, you're not going to have any issues with fingerprints. You're not going to get fingerprints if you decide to use this without a case. So the build quality on this is really, really good, and I like it a lot. All right, the Galaxy S9 Plus also has excellent build quality, also Gorilla Glass 5. Now, they did theirs a little different, just the Onyx Black is just straightforward. However, the phone is a little more heavier, and it's a little thicker as well. So you're going to get a little more weight and a little more thickness. And also, let me point out that when it comes to how the phone feels in your hand, the LG V30 is going to feel more comfortable in your hand than the S9 Plus. And the reason for it, because the LG V30 is more rounded off. It has rounded corners. And the S9 Plus is a little more squared off. So it has a little bit of sharpness to it when you hold it in your hand without a case. Now, with a case, you ain't got that problem. You don't have to worry about that at all. It's not even an issue. But without a case, it's going to feel a little sharp in your hands. So just so you know that. Next thing, LG V30 fingerprint sensor, of course, is on the rear. Galaxy S9 Plus fingerprint sensor on the rear. Which one has the best fingerprint sensor? Now, based on my experience with both devices, the LG-V30 has a really good fingerprint sensor. However, it's kind of slow, but it is 100% accurate. The Galaxy S9 Plus fingerprint sensor, instantaneous. As soon as you touch that fingerprint sensor, the phone is coming on. I mean, instant. So the fingerprint sensor on the S9 Plus is clearly better than the LG-V30. But like I said, the LG-V30 fingerprint sensor is 100% accurate. And there are those out there that will prefer a circular fingerprint sensor over a fingerprint sensor like this one that's a little square. As you can see it right there, it's square and it is a lot smaller. So now I'm gonna be honest with you, I prefer a circular fingerprint sensor because I think that's more natural feeling. Like, you know, your fingerprint is, you know, your finger is circular, so your fingerprint sensor, in my opinion, should be circular. So some people may like that better. I know I do, but when it comes down to overall, you know, that's not the only thing I'm gonna put in consideration when I'm picking out a device. Okay. All right. Just wanted to put that out there. So the fingerprint sensor, that goes to the S9 Plus because it's definitely faster. Next thing, speaker quality. Now with the LG-V30, you have one down-firing speaker, but on the S9 Plus, you have dual stereo speakers tuned by AKG. You have a speaker at the bottom, and you also have a speaker coming through the earpiece. Now, I'm going to be honest. This is the one thing that LG completely screwed up when it came to this device, because they put an awful speaker on this device. It's tinny. It's not even that loud. It just sounds terrible. Okay, it really does. It sounds absolutely terrible. But for me, that's the only thing they really did horrible when putting this phone together. This phone should have had dual stereo speakers. So as far as speakers are concerned, you got to go with the Galaxy S9 Plus because you're getting dual speakers and they're stereo speakers and they're super loud and they have nice sound quality. All right. Next thing, the LG-V30 has a 6-inch Quad HD POLED display. Now the display on this phone is absolutely beautiful. Let me turn it on for you. Of course, I'm gonna have to turn the brightness down because I have my phone super bright. All right. So the display on this phone is absolutely beautiful. No doubt about it. I love this display, and I love those thin bezels at the top and the bottom. POLED Quad HD display, 6 inches. And also, you'll notice this phone has a nice width to it. It's not narrow. I don't like narrow phones. So this has a good width to it as well. And with the Galaxy, let me turn the brightness down. All right, that should be good. Turn it down a little more. All right. So with the S9 Plus, you also have a gorgeous display. You have a 6.2-inch Quad HD Super AMOLED display. Okay. Now, the bezels on this are going to be a little bit thicker than the ones on the LG-V30, but they're not that big. They're not like pixel, big like that, but they are a little bit thicker than the ones on the LG-V30. Now, you may say, well, which display do I think is better? Both of them, in my opinion, are even. The only thing that separates these two displays is that the S9 Plus display does get a little bit brighter. And it's better. You're gonna be able to view it a lot better outside in direct sunlight as opposed to the LG-V30. So, and that's going to be big for people that are outside a lot, or people that's just outside and they use their phone outside a lot. You need a phone that's going to be bright enough where if direct sunlight hit it, you'll be able to see the display and be able to do the things you need to do on your phone. So as far as just sharpness, color, all that stuff, in my opinion, they're even because you have a POLED and then you have an AMOLED. But as far as brightness, the Galaxy S9 Plus definitely gets brighter. And also, like I said before, I like the width of the S9 Plus. I mean, I like the width of the LG V30 over the S9 Plus. And let me see if you can see it. The S9 Plus is a little narrower. The V30 is definitely wider. And I like a phone that has a wide width. Now, for those of you that doesn't have really large hands and you prefer a phone that's going to be a little bit easier to navigate, then you want the S9 Plus because it's a little narrower and it's going to be a little bit easier to navigate if you have small to medium-sized hands. But me, I just prefer wider display. A wider display to me means more display, even though it's 2 inches shorter. But to me, that's not the biggest deal. Okay, I prefer a wider device. But both devices are A1. All right. Next thing, LG V30 Face Unlock. And the S9 Plus also has Face Unlock. Which Face Unlock is faster and more accurate? No question about it. The LG V30 catches my face every time and definitely unlocks faster than the S9 Plus. I don't know what's up with this S9 Plus. It's just so inaccurate. It's so sometimey. Sometimes it opens up fast. Sometimes it don't. Sometimes it don't recognize my face. Sometimes it do. Too inconsistent. And I like Samsung, but the face unlock on this phone is just not good. It's just not. It's to the point where I just turned it off because there's no point. But the face unlock on the LG V30 is definitely superior to the S9 Plus. Next thing, the LG V30 has a Snapdragon 835. The Galaxy S9 Plus has a Snapdragon 845. And you can definitely tell with the speed. Now, the S9 Plus is definitely a little bit faster, not dramatically faster, but definitely a little bit faster than the LG V30. So that may be a big deal to some people. To some people, it may not be. To me, it's not a big deal because the LG V30 is still pretty fast and nice and smooth. Both are very nice and smooth, but I have no issues with the LG V30 having a 2-year-old, chipset. I don't have an issue with that at all. Next thing, the LG V30 has HDR10. Also, the Galaxy S9 Plus has HDR10. Always on display. Now, turn both of these off. And I pretty much gave these both the same kind of display. I put a picture on both because I really want you to see the difference. Just waiting for that LG V30 to time out a little bit because I'm using Nova Launcher on the LG V30 and I'm using the One UI on the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. I mean, S9 Plus. So it usually takes a couple seconds for that thing to time out. Okay, you see it. All right. Now, which always on display do I think is best? Now, let me say this real quick. I'm going to have to wait for this one to go back out. Sorry. Now, as you can see how bright the LG V30 gets. You can clearly see that. Now, I got to wait for that one to time out. Sorry about the delay, y'all. All right. So basically the same picture on both. But as you can see with the LG V30 here, you got a bigger picture and it's brighter. And also the time is a lot easier to see. On my Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, you have a picture, but it's definitely smaller in dimension. And also the time is hard to see. It's really small. However, I do like the notifications, how they're colored on the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, as opposed to the LG, which is all just, white. So when I see those that red color, I already know that's YouTube right there, YouTube notifications. So I like that. Now, if I'm using different clocks, the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus always on display is clearly better than the LG because the LG doesn't give you that many options when it comes to the always on display. Now, both are interactive. Both you can control your media and you can get your date and you can do both are very functional, I would say. Samsung's a little more functional, but LG's is functional as well. But I like Samsung's better. Now, as far as putting a picture in there, LG is definitely better because it's brighter and it's bigger, and I could easily see the time. But overall, I like Samsung's always on display better because there's a lot more options and things you can do with it, and in ways you can change it. You know, they just let you do so much more with it. All right. Next thing, you got the LG-V30 with Android 9, and unfortunately, it's not going to get any more updates. Android 9 was the last update for this device. With the Galaxy S9 Plus, you got Android 10. Now, right now, that's still the latest version of Android. Android 11 has not come out yet, so you're going to get you know, a newer version of Android. You're going to get a newer version. So you're going to definitely get a newer version of Android with the Galaxy S9 Plus. All right. All right. LG-V30 getting 4 gigs of RAM. The Galaxy S9 Plus, you're getting 6 gigs of RAM. So for some people, RAM matters. How much RAM you get, you know, because the more RAM, the more apps you can hold in the background. And that matters to some people. To some people, it doesn't matter. For me, it matters. The more RAM, the more apps I can hold open in the background. And when I want to go back to them, everything will still be there where I left it. I don't have an issue with 4 gigs of RAM. Some people don't even care if it's 4 gigs of RAM. You know, they don't, it doesn't matter. So it just depends on what kind of user you are. That's what it's going to come down to. But that's the difference. The Galaxy S9 Plus just have 2 more gigs of RAM than the LG-V30. Next, LG-V30, 64 gigs of internal memory. The Galaxy S9 Plus, 64 gigs of internal memory. However, with the LG-V30, they do have a 128 gig variant. And with the Galaxy S9 Plus, they have a 128 gig variant and a 256 gig variant. Okay? And both 128 and 256 come with 6 gigs of RAM. So, but it's even far as these two because both come with 64 gigs. All right, next thing, expandable memory. The LG-V30 can expand memory up to 2 terabytes. That's crazy. They don't even have 2 terabyte micro SD cards yet, but that's crazy. With your Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, 500 gigs of expandable memory, which is still great, and that's going to be more than enough for the average person. Some people don't even need nowhere near that much storage. For me, I need a terabyte because I'm a storage monster. That's just me, okay? So you're going to get way more expandable memory on the LG-V30. Next thing, the LG-V30 does have wireless charging, okay? Which is a good thing, at least for me. I use wireless charging. Wireless charging is not a gimmick, not to me. Now, if you don't use it, then it's a gimmick to you. You know, you don't care, you don't think it's important, but I use it every single day, so it matters to me. However, with the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, you're getting not only wireless charging, you're getting fast wireless charging. So it's going to take about 4 hours to charge this from 0 to 100, and about 2.5 hours with the Galaxy S9 Plus. So, of course, I like, you know, I would go with the Galaxy S9 Plus. Next thing, LG-V30, IP68 water and dust resistance. Galaxy S9 Plus, IP68 water and dust resistance. So you're getting that peace of mind on both devices, so you don't have to worry about damaging your phone due to water. Next thing, the LG-V30, no iris sensor. Galaxy S9 Plus definitely has the iris sensor where you can open up the phone with your eyes. It's very, very secure, and I love that feature that Samsung put on this device. I love it, okay? Because you can use it also with Samsung Pay. That's how secure it is. Next thing, LG-V30, Bluetooth 5.0, Galaxy S9 Plus, Bluetooth 5.0. Next thing, LG-V30 NFC, Galaxy S9 Plus, NFC. LG-V30 FM radio, Galaxy S9 Plus, FM radio. Next thing, LG-V30 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, Galaxy S9 Plus 3.5 millimeter headphone jack in both. Now, if the headphone jack matters to you like it matters to me and a lot of other people out there, you're going to love the experience on both these devices. However, on the LG-V30, you're going to get a 32-bit hi-fi quad DAC. And I'm going to tell you right now, the quad DAC in this phone is ridiculous. I mean, it is so awesome. The sound quality is great. However, Samsung also has a 32-bit DAC tuned by AKG. And they do give you a lot of options as far as equalizer and all these different ways you can tweak the sound and change this and change that. So they give you a whole lot of options where you can make the kind of sound you want to come out of your headphone jack that you want. But it's still not touching the overall quality sound that you get from this quad DAC in the LG-V30. So as far as headphone jack audio quality, hands down, that's the LG-V30. And like I said, Samsung's 32-bit sounds really great, you know, and I get really good sound, but it's not touching the LG-V30, just being honest. All right, next thing, LG-V30 screen recording, Galaxy S9 Plus screen recording. LG-V30 3,300 milliamp battery, also features 18-watt fast charging, otherwise known as quick charging 3.0. The standby time on this device is absolutely insane. Now I'm keeping it real, y'all. Let me just share this with you. After 6 days, now I'm talking 6 days, leaving this phone on, leaving it on, constantly getting notifications, got my Wi-Fi on. Of course, I don't have a SIM card in it, but I got the Wi-Fi on. I'm constantly getting a ton of notifications, all that. After 6 days, I had over 50% battery left. Think about that. 6 days. That's ridiculous. Okay? S9 Plus, on standby, no SIM card, not using it, just getting my notifications, checking it every now and again. 2 days, phone dead. So the standby time on this phone is absolutely insane and it's ridiculous. Also, when I'm using it medium to heavy usage, I'm getting anywhere from a day and a half to 2 days of battery life on this device. And that's with max brightness. With the Galaxy S9 Plus, I'm going to get a day. That's it. Because this phone drains a lot of battery even if you don't even use the phone. Let me tell you something else again. Now, I'm going to be honest. This is crazy now. After over a day, like a day and a half, I checked this phone. It was at 96% after a day and a half. 96%. After a day and a half on this phone, 70%. And I didn't even use the phone. So I don't know what LG does as far as optimizing their software, but the battery life, there's just no comparison when it comes to battery life, okay? Doesn't matter how big the battery is. It's how that company optimizes their software with the battery, okay? Now with the S9 Plus, you're getting a 3,500 milliamp battery. Now I'm not saying the battery is terrible, but it pales in comparison to the LG-V30. It just does, okay? Now it also features 15-watt fast charging, which is actually slower than the LG-V30s, and also otherwise known as quick charging 2.0. So with the LG-V30, you're getting quick charge 3.0, 18 watts, and with the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, you're getting 15 watts, 2.0 quick charging. So you're going to get faster charging speeds on the LG-V30. Next thing, LG-V30, Google Pay. Google, however, is not accepted everywhere. But with the S9 Plus, you got Samsung Pay. Samsung Pay is accepted everywhere. So far as mobile payments are concerned, you're going to do better with the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. Because Samsung, like I said, Samsung Pay is accepted everywhere. Google Pay is not, if that matters to you. All right, next thing. The Galaxy S9 Plus has DeX, which you could basically hook it up to your computer and use it as a handheld computer or something like that. I haven't really used it yet, but DeX is pretty awesome. The LG V30 doesn't have DeX. Okay, it just doesn't. So you can pretty much, hook your phone up to the computer and use it as, use it as a laptop. So that's awesome. Okay, you have that on there. All right, next thing, Galaxy S9 Plus, you have the edge panels. Let me show you what those are for people that may not know. And this might not matter to everybody, but it's something that I use. These are your edge panels. See, you got your taskbar here. You got your apps. You got your people. You can set up, people that you call. You have your smart select here. You can get your weather here. Tap that to get the weather. It's going to load it up. Okay, so now when I scroll, now you got the weather there on the side. You can control your music here too. And then you have your apps pair, which I haven't set up. And you get your sports edge panel. So I like that. Okay, that's something that I like on my devices. Now with the LG, now it doesn't have edge panels, but it does have a floating bar. And that's right down here. So you open that up. I got my Bible app. I got my Cinema HD. I got my Spotify, YouTube, and my movie app. You scroll down a little bit more. You can do other things here. Make a GIF, crop. You could pull the notification shade down. You could edit, shots and stuff like that. Sorry if you didn't see that. Let me scroll again. Here you can, control your music. Here you can set up who you want to call, press that, it'll call them automatically. So this is cool. Now, I didn't use this on here, but it's nice to know that's on here if you do want to use it. Okay. So you got the floating bar and then you got the edge panels. I prefer the edge panels. Plus, it's a lot bigger. All right. With the Galaxy S9 Plus, you have the edge lighting. Now, you may not be able to see that, but what happens when I get a notification, all the borders around the whole display lights up, whatever color that notification is. You're not going to get that on the LG V30. For some people, you could care less about that. That's not a big deal, but I like that. That's a feature I actually like. I think it's really cool when I get a notification and all the borders of my phone just light up different colors. That's cool for me. But I know maybe for the average consumer, you could care less about that. Excuse me. All right, next thing, Galaxy S9 Plus, AKG tuned headphones in the box. The LG V30, you're not getting a set of headphones at all. Now, I've always had this issue with LG. They're still doing the same thing. Now they're up to the LG-V60, and they still will not give you a pair of headphones. And I think it's a crime because you can get devices for $200 or less and get a set of headphones. So I don't understand why they have such an awesome quad DAC in their devices and charge people $700-800 for a device and won't give them a set of headphones. I really think that's ridiculous, and I really frown upon LG for doing that. And the consumer, as consumers out there, you guys should be complaining that LG will not give you headphones. And for me, I wouldn't even buy their products, just based on that, because I think that's ridiculous. I really do. Now, some of you may disagree, but you're spending your hard-earned money, and you mean to tell me you can't give me a set of headphones? Now, I know a lot of companies that do give you headphones probably add it into the price, but that's fine. Add it into the price, but at least give me a pair of headphones. Okay, I just don't like that. I never liked that with LG. Also, OnePlus don't give you headphones, and also the Pixel don't give you no headphones. I don't like that. So kudos to Samsung for always giving you a pair of headphones, and they give you a pair of nice AKG tuned headphones. All right, next thing. Galaxy S9 Plus has the One UI, Samsung's One UI, which is loaded with features. And you got the LG, which uses a H9310G software. I mean, it's their personal software. It doesn't have a name, but I don't like LG software, so I always use Nova Launcher. Not the software. I don't like their skin on top of Android, so I always use Nova Launcher. With the Samsung S9 Plus, I like One UI, it's cool, but even with Samsung, a lot of times I still use Nova Launcher because I just like it just a little bit more. It's a little more customizable, so that's why I prefer to use Nova Launcher. Next, Galaxy S9 Plus, you have the LED notification light up at the top, which you won't see now because the screen is on. And of course, with the LG-V30, you're not going to get no LED notification light. Next thing, due to the fact that the S9 Plus is sporting the latest version of Android, you're going to get the dark mode, which I love on here. Everything's going to be dark. However, unfortunately, with the LG-V30, you're not getting a dark mode because it only updated to Android 9. Not unless you, jailbreak or however they say, break your phone and then put a ROM on there and get Android 10. Other than that, there's no dark mode on the LG-V30. You will get the dark mode on the Galaxy S9 Plus. Next thing, Galaxy S9 Plus has secure folder. Basically, you can put apps and whatever pertinent information you need that you want to keep people's eyes away from in your secure folder, and you'd have to use your iris sensor, a password, or your fingerprint in order to open it. It's very, very secure. I like that. The LG-V30 doesn't have secure folder. For some of you, you could care less, but for me, I like that. Because I keep a lot of sensitive materials and sensitive things on my device, and I need to know that if I lose it or if I give it to somebody to make a call or to hold it for a second, I know they're not going to get into any sensitive things. All that stuff will be locked away in my secure folder. All right, LG-V30 does have some nice features. They do have features on here. I'm not going to get into all the features, but compared to the Galaxy S9 Plus, there's no comparison. Samsung puts so many features in their phone. There's really not too many companies that can really compete with them as far as features. Their phones are absolutely loaded with features. Now, I know there's some people out there that don't care about a bunch of features. They just want simplicity, and that's cool. I'm the type of person, I want a ton of features because I want to have fun with my phone. I want to be able to just constantly learn something new about it, be able to tweak this, tweak that. I like having options. I like customization. I love the features. So for those that love features, you want the Galaxy S9 Plus. For those that don't care about having that many features, you can go with the LG-V30. Can't go wrong with either. All right, next thing, Galaxy S9 Plus, you got a heart rate monitor on the rear, which I like because I utilize it. Now, for those of you that don't utilize it, you could care less. However, the LG-V30, you're not getting a heart rate monitor. Next thing, Galaxy S9 Plus has 2 cameras on the rear, and also the LG-V30 has 2 cameras on the rear. But let me get into all the things that the Galaxy S9 Plus cameras offer. You got a 12 megapixel wide with optical image stabilization on the rear, and you have another 12 megapixel telephoto lens with optical image stabilization with 2 times optical zoom. With the selfie, you got an 8 megapixel wide. Now, as far as video features for the rear cameras on the Galaxy S9 Plus, it shoots at 4K at 30 frames per second and also 60 frames per second. It also shoots in 1080p at 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second, and 240 frames per second. Also, it shoots in 720p at 960 frames per second. It has HDR dual video recording, stereo sound recording as well, electronic image stabilization and optical image stabilization at 30 frames per second on the selfie camera. Now, when we're talking about the selfie camera as far as video shooting, the selfie on the Galaxy S9 Plus shoots at 4K at 30 frames per second and also 1080p at 30 frames per second and 720p at 30 frames per second. Okay? Now, let's get to all the photo shooting modes that the Galaxy S9 Plus offers. All right, you have live focus, you have the pro mode, panorama, the food mode, night mode, wide selfie mode, sports mode, super slow motion mode, hyperlapse, Bixby vision, which is basically artificial intelligence. Basically, whatever you shoot at, you can shoot it and then it brings up information on what that item is and give you all the information on it. So that can be cool for people that care about stuff like that. Now, I have yet to use it because I don't really care about that. So, but it's still there. Okay. All right. So those are all the options you have with the Galaxy S9 Plus. Now let's look at all the options you get on the LG V30, and it's a lot of them. Trust me. All right. You're also getting 2 cameras on the rear. The first one is a 16 megapixel standard lens with optical image stabilization. Then you also have a 13 megapixel ultra wide, okay, on the rear. And with the selfie camera, you have a 5 megapixel wide. Now, if you didn't hear me, the Galaxy S9 Plus does not have an ultra wide. It does have a wide, but does not have an ultra wide. So if you're the kind of person that likes ultra wide lenses, you want to get more in the shot, then you definitely want to go with the LG V30. This will give you a wide shot, but it's not going to give you as wide of a shot as the LG V30. Okay. Now let's talk about the video features of the LG V30. On the rear, I'm talking about the rear cameras. The rear cameras shoot at 4K at 30 frames per second. No 60 frames per second at 4K on the rear camera, which is unfortunate. It also shoots at 1080p at 30 and 60 frames per second and 720p at 120 frames per second with 24-bit stereo sound recording and HDR video. Okay? All right, with the selfie camera shoots at 1080p at 30 frames per second. No 4K recording on the front camera. So if you care about 4K recording, you're going to get it on the Galaxy S9 Plus. You're not going to get any 4K recording at all on the selfie on the LG V30, nor will you get 4K at 60 frames per second on the LG V30. Okay? All right, let's get into the photo modes on the LG V30, and it's a ton of them. You got the portrait mode, the artificial intelligence mode, you got manual video mode, you got cinematic video, you got pop-out mode, you got food mode, slow motion mode, panorama mode, snapshot mode, time-lapse mode, 360 panorama mode, match shot mode, grid shot mode, guide shot mode, flash jump cut mode, and YouTube live mode. So if it comes down to which camera you want the most modes, it's definitely going to be the LG V30. Now I'm going to tell you right, and be honest. Excuse me. Both of these phones take beautiful, unbelievable, great photos. They just do. You can't go wrong with either device when it comes to photo quality. Okay? Now, if I had to pick one as far as just photos, I mean just great photos just every single time, I'm going to have to go with the LG V30 because I've taken photos with this phone and they are absolutely amazing. I mean, they just are. Even the selfies are amazing, but the rear cameras, they're just unbelievable. I'm telling you. Now, as far as the video quality, I'm going to give the slight edge to the Samsung S9 Plus. However, even on that, LG counters with that with the manual video mode, so you could pretty much tweak everything. Okay, now you do have the pro mode for pictures on both, because you got manual mode photos and you got pro mode on this, so you can tweak. But this one at the moment does not have manual video mode. Now I think it may be getting it with the One UI 2.1, but as of right now, this phone does not have manual video, but this one does. So that's the counter that. So you can't go wrong with either one, but just far as picture quality every single time, I'm going to go with the LG V30 on that. But, and more modes. It has way more modes. So you're going to be able to do a lot more with this particular camera. But both of them are great, and I love them both. All right. Now, the last thing. You got the LG V30. Let's talk about the prices. Now, which one do you think gives you the most value? Well, with the LG V30, you could find this device for $150 up towards $230 on Amazon.com. On eBay.com, I've seen it for $90 and as far as $270. So it's clear to me you're going to get the way better prices on eBay, and you're going to get some great stupid low prices for a flagship device. Now with the Galaxy S9 Plus, you're looking at $300 to $530 between Amazon and eBay. So this phone still has some decent value to it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, for if money is a major issue, then you definitely want to go with the LG V30 because it's dirt cheap. I mean, dirt cheap. I just said $90. Now I don't know what shape the phone is in at that price. Of course, you got to read the description before you buy a phone to see what kind of condition it's in, because you just don't want to go and just get anything. But you're always going to find somewhat lower prices on eBay anyway. Now, some people don't like eBay. They rather go Amazon because they feel like it's a little more secure and they feel like, they keep their phones up better. But you could send them, either one of them, you could send the phone back if you have issues with it. But they I think Amazon gives you 90 days with renewed to send it back. I think eBay is only 30 days. So it just kind of depends on, which one you want to go with. I get phones from both, but most of the time I do get my phones from Amazon.com. So that was my comparison of the LG V30 and the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. Like I said, I love both devices. That's why I have both devices. And they have their highs and their lows. Now, you're going to get the most bang for your buck. You want to go with the S9 Plus because you're going to get way more features. You got the newest version of Android, if that matters to you now. That might not matter to you. You're getting a set of headphones. Okay, you're getting a great display. You do get good battery life. It's not horrible. You're going to get through a full day easily, no problem. Okay, you're going to get great photos, great videos. It's fast, it's smooth. So you're gonna get dual stereo speakers, which sound absolutely awesome. Okay, so you're gonna get fast wireless charging. You're going to get expandable memory. So you're going to get a lot. Like I said, tons of features. I can't even go into all the features because this video would be 3 hours long. However, with the LG V30, you're getting stupid battery life. It's just ridiculous. Okay, you're getting a great POLED display. You're getting great cameras. The only thing, like I said, they screwed up with that speaker. That speaker sounds horrific. It's just terrible. You're getting a 32-bit hi-fi quad DAC, which is absolutely awesome. You're getting fast charging. You're getting IP68 water and dust resistance. You're getting wireless charging. You're getting thin bezels, no notch. You're getting, so I'm just saying now the power button is built into the fingerprint sensor. So you might not like that, but it's something you can get used to. So like I said, you can't go wrong with either. You're going to get the lowest prices for this phone. With this one is going to be way, way cheaper. If budget and money is an issue for you, you're going to spend way less money on the LG V30 than the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. But like I said, I love both of them. Can't go wrong with either. So it's just up to you, and it comes down to personal preference, which company you like and what software you like better and what works better for you. Now, if I had to pick one or the other, I'm going with the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus because the reason for it, I love One UI. You're getting way more features, and I'm all about those features. Like I said, I love that fast wireless charging. I want the iris sensor. I like that. I like the heart rate monitor. I like how fast the fingerprint sensor is. I like the fact that I'm getting headphones. So I'm getting good battery life. I'm getting a great display. I'm getting expandable memory. I got the latest version of Android. All that stuff matters to me. So I would go with the Samsung Galaxy S9 based on those issues. And it's probably more, but I'm just, rambling right now. But I love both of these devices. I really do. So you can't go wrong with either. They're both great, and they're both flagship phones, and you're getting a lot of bang for your buck with both, but you're going to get a little bit more bang for your buck with the Galaxy S9 Plus. All right, so that was my comparison between the LG V30 and the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for taking the time to view this content. Hope you guys out there staying safe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.